Hi, this is Karen from Mojo Global. Welcome to the Mojo Global Radio Show. Today, as our honored guest, we have Stephan. Bernie, welcome to the show.
Hey, Karen, it's great to be here with you. And thanks for putting the German accent on my last name. That's correct.
Oh, you're so welcome, Bernie. Could you tell our audience a little bit about how you could help them?
Well, I'm a real estate broker in Marin and Sonoma counties, and I've got a ton of experience. And so I can help them in all sorts of situations, whether they want to sell their home, or they want to sell it quickly because they need to move, or if they want to get the highest price for their home, or if they're moving here, or if they're moving within here. They could be empty nesters and they want to downsize. They could be people wanting to buy a bigger home because they can afford it more than they did before. There's just a slew of ways. I mean, I help divorcing couples. I help kids who are getting an inheritance in a house and they want to divide the proceeds. I help in so many different situations. I helped in a pre-foreclosure. I'm actually going to be helping in an indirect way to a past client as an expert witness in a court civil case that they're involved in. So I really come with wide experience. I guess it's about 300 transactions that I've handled in my 25 to 30 years in real estate.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Could you talk about the heritage you bring? Because I know that you're very active in the environmental community.
I'd love to talk about that because, obviously I started wanting to get out of the IT business I was in because I was consulting, I was flying all over. I wanted to work locally. So I became a real estate appraiser and I loved the job. I loved the work, but it just didn't pay enough. So then I saw, well, where does the money come in? At the brokers. So I got a real estate broker's license. I went out, worked as a broker for other brokers, but in time, I got the opportunity to buy a Remax franchise and I did that and had 2 offices, 50 plus agents. And so I had that experience. But while I was doing that, and my son was a catalyst in this, I started becoming more aware of what the ecological problems were and the kinds of things we could do to help. And so I went to Build It Green. From that, I got more involved locally when we were having town hall meetings about climate change, resource depletion, loss of biodiversity. And so I got trained in permaculture and helped build the West Marin transition towns. We had a chapter to do an energy descent. And then I became part of the sustainability movement in Sustainable Marin. I became a vice president and chair and did a radio show, and it was called Post Carbon. So every week we would have guests and we'd have call-ins. And so we'd have a educational opportunity to see all that's happening. And so when I saw that, I first became more of just a radical activist. How can I put this together with my real estate business? And I see so many ways that, help people understand if they're moving to a new area or considering a new area, what is the watershed here? What are the ecological components here? Not just the temperature, but the weather in a more complete way. I've recognized that we are doing a lot of harm to nature. And I know people don't want to do that. So I really want to help them when they're making one of the biggest decisions in their lives, and that is moving.
Thank you so much. Normally at this point, we ask people what their why is, but you answered that already. You're passionate about the environment. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I love this community. I've lived in Marin and Sonoma counties for 50 years, and we've lived in various places, and it's very diverse. It is, surrounded by water in terms of the bay and the ocean, and just a lovely place, and we're in love with it and love the communities. And so I'm excited about helping people who want to move here or even people that want to leave here, because it is darned expensive.
Well, thank you so much, Bernie. And if someone wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way?
Well, a couple of ways. My website is marinsonoma.com. Very simple. The 2 counties I serve. My email is bernie@sonic.net. My phone/text is 415-488-4567. I'd love for someone to call. It's not an obligation thing. People are always saying, well, I'm not ready to move. Well, I'm happy to help people at any stage with their real estate questions.
Thanks so much for being on today, Bernie. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Karen, for having me, and I hope we talk again soon.
Fantastic. And to our audience, we always appreciate you, and we look forward to bringing you the next Mojo Global radio show. Bye-bye.